Hello and welcome back today. I've recently gotten back, or the family's recently gotten back from Disneyland Paris, where we were fortunate enough to stay at the Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel, and we got to visit obviously the Disney parks and the Avengers campus there. And I wanted to take a few minutes to discuss the park and look at some of the bits we picked up while we were there. So first off, the family and I did Disney World in 2023. Obviously, that doesn't have any Marvel stuff because of the legalities between Disney and Universal. But that's beside the by. And for the past week, we were in Disneyland Paris, where we had a fantastic time. It's Disney through and through. We all found that the park, as fantastic as it was, as great a time as we had, was looking very tired, especially compared to Florida. Nothing was necessarily broken or wrong. It's just everything needed like a lick of paint and an update. Rides, the seats, people had picked off all of the foam, so there were bits damaged there, or all of the attractions looked sun faded and things like that. So it just looked a little tired, which was very disappointing. But other than that, it was a fantastic time. We had a great time. As I said, we stayed at the Art of Marvel Hotel. We picked up loads of various bits. While I'm discussing, I'll go through some of the sort of bits and pieces we picked up just from, being at the restaurants and whatever. So as part of one of the parks, there is the Avengers campus. It's quite small. The rides, which are Hyperforce, which is a ride where you are assisting Captain Marvel and Iron Man, is fantastic. It's a really fast roller coaster in the dark with projected images of Cap and Iron Man fighting off 3 warheads, but it's a great ride. And there's also a web ride, which is, it's not really a simulator ride. It's one of those rides where you're riding and you have to shoot the target. So you're shooting these little spider bots, which are cute and fun. And you use your hands as web shooters, and the motion sensors pick it up and shoot the webs at the moving spider bots on the screen. I have uploaded a separate video of that ride, so if you want to check it out, it's a 3D ride, so obviously the picture quality for the video isn't that great. But that was a lot of fun. They had Tom Holland in the role there, same as Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, so that's really nicely done. The rides were fantastic, but the Avengers campus itself was it was nice, but it was nothing stand out. If you've done Florida and you've seen what they've done with Galaxy's Edge, it doesn't even compare, basically. It's just a generic land within the Disney park. You get a couple of restaurants with Pym's Laboratory, which is, an Ant-Man themed restaurant, and you get these table placemats. The restaurant itself were all really good. I can't speak for prices because we had the meal plan as part of our package, so we didn't need to pay for food. There's also Stark's Factory, which is just a pizza and pasta place. It's a help yourself and pay. And there's a life-size Hulkbuster in there. So that's all really well done. Biggest complaint with Avengers Campus is there's a lack of characters to meet. Captain Marvel walks around the park now and again, and she's really well done, really great costume, great interaction. There's an Iron Man which walks out in front of the Quinjet and waves down at everyone. The Iron suit looks pretty great. You can see, where the joints of the plastic but it looks good. There was also Spider-Man, Shuri, and Wasp. Unfortunately, those costumes for those characters was very, very disappointing. You could tell, even from a distance, the Spider-Man costume was literally just one of those onesie zip-up things. You could get something so much better off eBay than what they're having. Everything was just a cheap lycra suit, which was disappointing. But as for the hotel itself, the hotel was fantastic. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. From the moment you walk in, you are surrounded by various artworks from various artists. There's a mini gallery dedicated solely to Jack Kirby. There is so much art. We didn't even see it all. You could spend a day easily just exploring that hotel and looking at the art on all the floors. I did pick up this hotel poster book, which has got some of the art in it that can be found throughout the hotel. But yeah, the hotel is astounding. It really is. There is so much artwork. There is a Manhattan restaurant, which is more upscale. Remember, everything is family aimed. Everything is for the entire family. There isn't age restriction. But the Manhattan restaurant is certainly more of an upscale restaurant, designed more for adults. It has certainly a more appealing menu. There's also the downtown restaurant, which is a buffet service, and that's certainly very family friendly. Once you enter there, it's all you can eat, and the walls are surrounded by various sketches of Marvel and everything else. We've seen the little colouring posters you get on the tables. The lobbies have all of this artwork in it. You get artwork on the floors of each of the hotel. There's artwork in your room. The rooms are really well done. They feel like a New York hotel apartment. So the hotel is really beyond reproach. It's amazing. The artwork throughout is gorgeous. They have a pool there. The pool's really nice. They have a 24-hour gym. They have a shop with some exclusive art. They have a shop with exclusive merchandise for the art of Marvel, such as the poster book and another book we'll take a look at in a moment. So a lot of thought, effort and time has been put into that hotel, and it really does pay off. We were on the second floor, and this here was the picture which greets you as soon as you get out of the elevators or the lifts. The lifts have artwork down the side of them. There's Captain Marvel or Falcon, Sam, Captain America. As you're walking up to the hotel, there are statues of Captain America, Iron Man and Captain Marvel. There is also supposedly a Black Panther statue. Unfortunately, that seemed to be tucked away behind a barrier, as certain areas were under construction, refurbishment, etc., etc. You can see here some of the coasters we got. There was a Skyline bar, which was done as a fancy New York bar. Again, it's for the whole family. The back of the wall is screens of a New York skyline with the Avengers Tower, and as you watch that, you can see Iron Man, the Quinjet, Spider-Man sort of fly past as you sit there and enjoy your drinks. They have plenty of different cocktails and mocktails. One of them even comes out in a case, and you do the whole Doctor Strange portal opening to receive your drink. Again, I think I uploaded a video of that. So there's plenty there. The bar, you really couldn't ask for more of the hotel. When you get into your room, you get this little welcome pack. There's a notebook within. You also get one of various exclusive postcards. There's some quest items for kids, so they can go around and they get some chocolate coins at the end of it. Instructions on using the coffee machine. So the hotel really is beyond reproach. Absolutely fantastic. Amazing. If you can afford it and you're planning on going to Disneyland Paris, I highly recommend staying in the New York hotel. Souvenir wise, we picked up the hotel book. We also got we all picked up a shoulder buddy. This seems to be the latest and biggest thing within the Disney parks, is magnetic teddies. So you put that under your shirt and it magnetically clips to your shoulder. I got the Spider-Bot, my wife got Groot, son got Grogu. There were so many of these, you know, Stitch, Remy for Ratatouille, there's Chip and Dale. There's just so many of these characters to choose from. They are quite cute and fun to have. They're quite sturdy as well, so there isn't a real concern of it slipping off when you're walking around the park. I also picked up a keyring of one of the Spider-Bots. The Spider-Bots obviously are a big part of that web ride. There's even, I'm going to do a separate unboxing and review on this, but there is even a giant remote control Spider-Bot. I didn't get any of the other parts for it, but you can buy accessories for this which clip on, so it looks like Captain America or Iron Man or whoever. I don't think there's examples of that, but this does various interesting. If you have multiple of them, they interact and battle with each other. There were web shooters with accessories, and if you bought those and used them with the web ride, they interact with the web ride. I don't know how that works exactly. I didn't buy one, but supposedly that. And I also picked up this art book, coffee table style book. Which we can take a look at now. So overall, we had a fantastic week. As I said, it's Disney through and through. The only downside was that the parks itself did look a little tired. There was also a lot, and I mean a lot, of construction going on within the Disney Village, within the Disney parks. They're building a new Frozen Land. They're building more Pixar stuff. So there was a lot of areas closed off while they did the construction. So I imagine if you went back in a year or two, it'd be very, very different. But here we have the coffee table style book. Oh, fuck. Sorry about that, the phone does not want to stay in the grip. So you can see here that there is pretty much what our hotel room looked like. So we got the back wall, the lights and the beds. Then you get artwork on the walls. Ours was Wasp and Ant-Man and one of Spider-Man. Oh, it's these two. That was the two pictures on our walls. So they were really nice to look at. Obviously you get different artwork through different rooms. I believe there was some upscale rooms, which you could obviously pay more to stay at. But honestly, if you're a fan of Marvel, you could not go wrong by staying at that hotel. There was so much gorgeous art. Alex Ross's artwork adorned so much of the lobby and the halls. I'm going to have so much fun looking and reading this. There is so much artwork here. It was gorgeous, honestly. This was the artwork that was in the downtown restaurant. So they would light up frames across the walls with various... They were nice to look at. Various sketches throughout. That there was the downtown restaurant. So it was very family themed. That was the hallway of the lobby. So you can see there was the suit of armors there. There was also Captain America's shields, the various stages of the shields. That was the Manhattan restaurant itself. So obviously it looks a little more upscale. So much of this artwork I haven't even seen myself. There's just so much of it throughout the hotel. As I said, you could have spent an entire day just exploring that hotel. This was one of the Alex Ross artworks over the lobby wall. That was the other piece. This piece was behind the concierge desk, and you could buy it as a canvas and a print. I like it. I'm not the biggest fan of this piece, but yeah, that was available if you liked it or wanted it. See various pictures of the heroes throughout. It was very much a mix of both MCU and the comics. So obviously the rides had Brie Larson and Tom Holland reprising their roles from the MCU. The characters which came out on their stages or you could meet were all in their MCU costumes. But the hotel very much had a complete mixture of artwork throughout, of various styles and characters. But overall, it was a fantastic week. We absolutely loved the stay. The hotel was amazing. I absolutely loved that hotel and would go back again quite easily. If you have the chance to do Disneyland Paris and you are a big Marvel fan, I highly recommend it. I think you will enjoy it. But it could be more. That's my only takeaway from this, is that it could have been more. Almost the entire park at times feels like the managers or whatever really want to do the big Disney stuff, but they don't want to throw the money at it at the same time. I assume they don't have the money in the same way as the Florida or California or wherever have, but yeah, that was my big takeaway. Is it just felt a little bit tired, but overall it was a fantastic week. We loved every minute. We loved the rides. Both rides within the Marvel campus were amazing. So much fun. I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, stay safe and remember, freedom is a right, not a privilege.